Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay, and choo-choo.
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. All aboard the murder train.
Hey.
It is pulling away from the station with a very crazy, weird case today, man. It is some strange stuff. I can't wait to get into it very quickly before we start. Couple of things to plug. September the 18th, Your Stupid Opinions is coming Monday morning. We cannot wait. Check that out every Monday morning after that. We're going to take the dumbest things reviewed on the internet and make fun of them. So it's going to be so much fun. We cannot wait. Definitely do that. You also certainly want to go to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Mm-hmm.
Try this first, though. shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live.
Hey.
That will get you tickets to the virtual live show. Oh, we can't wait. October the 26th. It's going to be available for a week after that. Halloween themed. We'll dress up. We're going to do a creepy, weird, Halloweeny murder. We'll do it all. The studio will be fun, and you can watch it anywhere in the world, anywhere you want. It's available for a week after, like I said, and you can watch it from your living room, in your pajamas, with your own booze. So enjoy that. We cannot wait. And also, while you're at shutupandgivememurder.com, get tickets for Dallas on December the 2nd. We can't wait for that show as well. So get those before they're all gone because they're going fast in Dallas. It's the only show left with tickets available. So what do you want? Get in there right now and get those. Also, patreon.com /Crime in Sports is where you want to go for all your bonus materials, and we have a ton of them. Anybody $5 a month or above, it's a cup of coffee. It is the most reasonable thing in podcasting you could ever ask for. You're going to get a whole big back catalog of bonus stuff, couple hundred episodes there. And in addition to that, new ones every other week. One Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all.
All of it.
All of it this week, what you're going to get. For Crime in Sports, we're going to talk about this thing that happened in hockey. It was a big gambling scandal in the 2000s here called Operation Slapshot is what they, when they busted it. It involves a very famous old player turned coach and a bunch of other people, and people got arrested and bad things happened. And then and on top of that, we'll talk about the movie Slapshot as well, which somehow neither of us saw until like 3 weeks ago, which is insane. And we loved it. So we're going to talk about that and add that to our kind of our top sports movies. We're going to slip that in. So we'll talk there. And then for Small Town Murder, I can't wait for this. And, seeing what happened at Burning Man and being that Fire Festival 2 is for sale, we're going to talk about Fire Festival, what the hell happened, and why Billy McFarland should never be allowed to organize even a tea party for the rest of his goddamn life.
Also, why are celebrities always wrapped up in these things?
Always. They're always.
Every time.
Because celebrities will take easy money if they can get it.
They love it.
That's why. Oh, you're going to give me money for using my name? Sounds great.
Let's go.
What do I have to do? Go down to an island and party? Okay, yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
So that's patreon.com/crime and sports, and you'll get a shout out at the end of the regular show where Jimmie will mispronounce your name while he would love to get it correct. So that said, I think it's time, everybody, to get into it. We got a lot of show. I think it's time to say sit back, all and everyone and all, and sit back and clear the lungs. Let's all reach toward the sky and let's all shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmie. What do you say?
All right.
Let's go on a trip, everybody.
Yeah,
Let's go on. We are getting in the Small Town Murder Mobile, and we are heading to Delaware.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which Delaware, tiny state.
Yeah.
Always very weird murders, though.
You always forget about it.
It is, but they're always weird here, too. And then whenever we're here, we're like, God damn, Delaware, what the fuck is happening over here? Yeah. So this is in Claymont, Delaware. Claymont. Very easy. Okay. It's at the severe northeastern tip of Delaware. Delaware kind of makes a right-hand turn toward the ocean. It's at the tip, panhandle of Delaware. It's the only way to describe it.
All kinds of beach.
All kinds of beach. It's about 15 minutes outside of Wilmington, Delaware, and an hour to Dover, which was our last Delaware episode. So upstate from Dover here. This is in Newcastle County, and area code 302. Population of this town, 9,508. So not a big place. Pretty small place. Median household income right around the national average, $58,904. Median home price cheaper than the national average, $280,200.
Yeah.
You're living within, a very short distance to water.
Oh God, it's
not bad.
Everything's right there.
Not bad. Little history of this town. The first people to ever live here were the Aboriginal Indians of the Middle Woodland period.
Yeah.
Which is 1100 to 1600 BC.
Because it supports life. There's water and shit there.
3,000 to 3,500 years ago. Yeah, that's a place that would get picked up first. Definitely. They found evidence of these people found all over the place here still to this day. The Dutch named the creek the Namas Creek, Naamans Creek, and the settlement after the chief of the Lenape Indians who occupied the region.
Okay.
That's nice. The settlement grew a lot from the 17th to the 20th century, as most things in America did.
Sure did, yeah.
They had grist mills and farms and all sorts of shit, lumber mills, steel mills, a chemical plant later on. You've made it when you can go outside, take a deep whiff, and smell chemicals.
Yeah, smell that ammonia. It's right there.
When your nose hairs are all burned off, you're living in a good place. This place was originally called Grubb's Landing.
That sounds gross.
Then it became this, because after a guy named John Grubb, who purchased this. Since the 90s, there's been a lot of major revitalization efforts around here. The Claymont Stone School, the Darley House, the Robinson House. They're trying to make it historic rather than just run down. There's a fine line between run down and historic, and they're trying to...
You're right, yeah.
They're trying to hop to the other side of that line.
There's a vast difference also between vintage and fucking
old shit.
Dilapidated. Yeah.
Vintage and old shit. So the Claymont Renaissance Development Corporation is working to stimulate economic growth. Good for them. Reviews of this town. Let's find out what people think. 5 stars. Perfect.
It's great.
Perfect. Very clean area. Roads are good. Claymont is a safe place to find a home apartments. To find a home apartments is what they said.
A home apartments.
A home apartments. It's very calm, and the cops here don't joke around. They are about their business. As opposed to everywhere else, you get pulled over. The guy comes in like a clown wig and a big red nose. He does a big honk on his horn. He's like, you crossed a double yellow line.
It's going to give you a ticket for speeding unless you can joke dick this joke. You ready?
They get a slide whistle. I caught you going 20 over the limit.
You get sprayed in the face with a daisy if you...
It's going to be great. Yeah, now I can either give you this ticket or spray you with this silly string. One of the two. Nightlife is quite boring, but it only takes 20 minutes to get to the center city area and party, because Wilmington is party central, as we know.
Party town, yeah.
3 stars. There is nothing exciting about living in Claymont. It is very boring and quiet. There doesn't seem to be a lot of violence or police activity. Okay, that's good.
They're not joking around.
They're not fucking around here. They're about their business. 3 stars, very quiet at times, but also filled with very stupid people doing stupid things. Okay.
Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes.
Like our stories.
People do wild shit.
People do dumb shit. Like most of Delaware, one wrong turn and you go from nice, beautiful houses and good people to craziness. Okay. And finally, 1 star. Yeah. I don't like it at all. Let's find out. The overall experience of living in this area is horrible, in my opinion, because the people that have recently moved into the area are delinquents, drug dealers, and people who live in halfway houses.
I want to go here so bad.
I got to see what they're talking about. You know there's one halfway house.
Yeah.
And they have 4 people living in it. And they're like, it's all delinquents and drug. 4 people moved in, and they're all delinquents and drug dealers. I just feel like that's what it is, too. When I first moved to this area, there was a nice elementary school and a community center across the street. Apparently, the derelicts have just overrun the elementary school and the community center, burned them to the ground, and they just have giant crack smoking parties on top of the rubble.
Ran the teachers out at midnight.
Ran them out. Oh, yeah. We're talking
under the cover of night.
Pitchforks and torches, and they strung them up. They burned the whole science department at the stake. They don't play that shit. Like, what are you talking about? Things to do, the Darley Festival. The Darley House is the one thing that was restored.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Something. The Darley Beer, Wine, and Music Festival is happening. We're excited to announce that it's the 4th one this year. It's almost here. Promoting the Claymont Renaissance, this festival brings together Delaware craft beers, fine wine, and other libations.
We do this shit quarterly?
We do this shit. No, 4th total.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 4th time this year.
The 4th year.
Okay.
It's the 4th year.
Well, how much do you love to drink? You got to do it quarterly.
They also have Rolling Revolution food trucks, local artisans, and music.
Of course.
Of course there's music. The music that I found is a band that claims to be there. They claim to be playing this. It doesn't have them listed, but they say they're playing it. The Stone Shakers.
Okay.
Stone Shakers. Unique versions of classic and new covers and originals. Stone Shakers are a little old band from Delaware with a fresh take on all things music. With the self-titled release of their EP, Stone Shakers, they are turning heads with their unique style and instrumentation.
You're saying they cover shit and do it with their own spin on it?
Oh, weird, right? Never heard of that before. You know, like a bar band.
Right.
$5 pre-sale, $10 day of event. So
don't you fuck up and forget to buy them before you show up.
Also, decorating the Christmas weed. Not that weed.
Yeah.
They had a tree growing out of a crack in a sidewalk, and people decorated it one time, and then the city took it down, and so they put another one out there, and they kept taking it down. So now it's a thing. After 8 trees got taken down and put back up, the Christmas weed is a big thing. They find a tree growing out of a sidewalk and decorate it.
Just decorate it.
Like it's literally in like a median of a highway and shit like that. That's where these are. So
it's dangerous, yeah.
Dangerous to do this.
Yeah.
That's why they took it down, because they didn't want people
Right.
decorating trees in the middle of 80-mile-an-hour traffic goes on both sides of them. But whatever, they find it fun. That said, let's talk about some more fun. Let's talk about a murder, shall we?
Oh, boy.
Let's get into this here. This is weird, wild stuff here. Okay. Let's talk about a guy, first of all. We'll go back to 2013. Not too far.
Okay, yeah.
10 years. We all know what 2013 looks like. Okay. Wayne Capelli, we're going to talk about. Cappelli.
Yeah.
Paisan over here. Wayne Capelli. He's 43 years old, Wayne. He's got a 10-year-old daughter who lives with him, apparently, here. I'm not going to give her name out, because why do that? No reason. So 10-year-old daughter there. They rent a room in the first block of 4th Avenue here in a community of Overlook Colony. It's the same house where a friend of his lives. That's how he found the room. Okay. A guy named David Hess lives there also. A woman owns the house and rents to them, and she lives there also, and seems to have like border. It's very seems like old fashioned. Like it seems like
boarding house kind of thing,
like a 30s arrangement. Like she lives there, and she's like, "Come on, boys, dinner's ready," and they come downstairs. Like it's very strange.
In Denver, I stayed at a place that was similar to this, that used to be apartments, and now it's just a small hotel.
Pad?
But it's very. I loved it because it was like
an Airbnb
ish. I don't. It was so, but each room had like a fucking real key. It was the most bizarre.
That's right.
I loved it. It was awesome, but I wouldn't want to do that every goddamn day.
No. No, it's just a way. That was a weird one. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to the Marriott or wherever.
Right. I'll get the one with the plastic key that I'll have to fuck up and have to go back to the front desk in the middle of the night next
lose
time.
that when you're drunk after a show at 1 a.m. I lost your key you've had for 46 years. Is gone.
Yeah, that key that said "do not duplicate." I don't know where it is.
I think I gave it to somebody. Something. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna go to sleep on this couch now.
I'll be upstairs waiting for you.
You won't be able to miss me because I'll be in front of the door. So before that, Capelli and his daughter had lived in another man, a friend of theirs' house, a guy named Paul DiSabatino. Oh. So Paul's house here, they lived there before. Apparently, Paul kicked them out.
Oh.
Paul kicks Wayne and his daughter out, and Wayne goes and gets a room at another place here, like we said. But he's still friends with Paul, though. They're still like tight friends somehow. Yeah. I don't know how that happens. Get the fuck.
He kicked him out.
Take your kid and be homeless. We still watching the game Saturday? Well, all right then. Like, what the fuck is that?
Don't you forget to bring them brats. They're my favorite.
Jesus Christ. Hope your kid finds a place to lay her head.
Try brought burgers next time. They're delicious too.
Christ. So Wayne has a job at the Super Fresh Supermarket, is what it's called. Oh. He's stocking shelves. Okay. And he seems to work like a second shift situation. Seems to get off work around like 9 o'clock type of deal. So he would walk to and from the store. It's a little less than a mile away. So he got some exercise in walking to and from.
Sure.
So he started, he's making okay money for the time and for the place. And, he's just trying to get his progress of his life in a positive direction. And you could tell a guy who's going from place to place, and he's got the kid in tow, and he's walking to his grocery store job. You can tell he's overcame a few things to get here. And so he's trying to make it all work. And things were going in the right direction for him. Everybody said he seemed happy. He liked his new job. He liked where he lived, and everything was fine.
Awesome.
So like I said, he's got his friends, David Hess, who's a roommate of his now, and Paul DiSabatino, who's the guy who kicked him out of the house, former roommate, who he's still friends with. Okay, so everything seems fine for old Wayne, Yeah. Then February 15th, 2013 comes around, and apparently he leaves work at the Super Fresh Supermarket at 9 p.m., and he doesn't show up at home.
Oh.
Nobody doesn't show up. I guess his daughter is staying at a friend's house that night anyway, so she's not there. But the landlord, Arlene, is really, like, she's worried. She's an older woman, and you can tell that she looks at her boarders as kind of like her kids. Like, it seems like a lady who's, all of her kids, like, live in other states, and she doesn't get to see her grandkids as much as she likes, so she kind of takes in these wounded
Troubled
birds
people.
from all around and,
Yeah.
tries to make a little house out of it. Because she calls that night. What landlord would be like, he didn't come home tonight, I better call 911.
Well, his kid's staying out somewhere else.
Yeah, his kid's not home.
Perhaps he's getting some ass, lady.
Yeah.
Shh.
He's 43 years old. Maybe he met a woman at the supermarket who liked the cut of his shelf-stocking jib and wanted to fucking say, hey, why don't you come home and help me stock my groceries? I got a place you can stock your penis.
Right.
It's on this shelf.
Why don't you put all that? Why don't you store your meat in this locker?
Yeah, exactly. I got a meat section for you. Who knows what kind of grocery themed fucking shit was thrown back and forth? Goddamn
and in 2013, that was a
euphemisms.
common misnomer. I don't know, common idea of you can get laid at the grocery store mad easy.
Yeah, which is, I don't see how that would work.
I don't think
because
that's true.
no one is wandering through the grocery store.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like there on a mission, especially
Right.
people who like have lives and jobs and stuff. They're there now, got to pick up 3 things and go. You think I want
Right.
you to talk to me now? Leave me the fuck alone, weirdo.
I've worked at grocery stores. I've spent a lot of time in grocery stores.
Yeah.
Never gotten laid at the grocery store or because of the grocery store.
No one ever said, hey, I'm going to climb up behind the Cocoa Puffs and give it to me good. You never had anybody?
Never once.
Weird. Super strange.
Yet everybody always says, you can meet a nice, everybody goes to the grocery store to not be annoyed.
So they put their headphones on and they buy
Right.
food. They're looking to, that's not, I'm not here to hang out. If you're at a bar, you're there to like hang out. At a grocery store, you're there to do a specific task. Get these things, 4 items on your list, and get the fuck out of this grocery store.
What do I got? I got an artichoke. I got asparagus. I have not had my knob licked. Is that what I was at?
Stand there knocking on cantaloupes and see if eventually a nice, good-looking person that you're looking for is going to come up to you and give you a tip on how to find the ripe ones, and then you're going to be fucking like mad, like animals in the car out in the parking lot. But who knows? You never know. But apparently, Arlene says, hell no, Wayne doesn't do this.
He would never.
Wayne is not getting laid. I swear, he got no game. Hello, 911. Wayne's got no game and he's missing. You understand?
Hello, no, my tenant is missing. Maybe he's getting laid. He is fucking hideous.
Yeah,
Never
no.
happening.
He's not hideous, too, though. He's very normal looking.
Good looking man. Yeah.
Decent looking guy. Got all his hair and everything like that.
She
but
doesn't believe it.
He's got no game. One time I saw him talk to a woman. She literally laughed in his face. It was sad. He cried for about a week. So I don't think he's going to try it again.
Have you ever seen a woman pull an eyeball because she rolled it so hard? That's what happened.
She was laughing so hard her fake eyelash fell off. It just fell, the tears. It couldn't take it anymore. Tears were coming out. Wore away the adhesive. She calls and said, quote, this guy, Wayne, my tenant, he didn't come home from his shift. And they're like, the cops are like, is he an adult?
Yeah.
They're literally like, he's a 43-year-old man, isn't here. Like, so?
Right.
And she said, though, Arlene said, I know the streets are really dark and he takes a shortcut. And what I'm really concerned is maybe he could have fell or something. He's 43, not 83.
Yeah. She's being very sweet, though.
Very sweet. But we're both in that age group. If you fall somewhere, you're not going to just lay there all night, right? You're going to figure out a way to get to some help. You crawl or just,
I'll handle it.
You're not just going to lay there and go, I fell. Like, there's no way falling and I can't get up.
Right. But if I fall and bonk my head like the guy that did that fucking Atkins diet, then that's my fucking fate.
That's
it
what
be.
it's supposed to be.
By morning, somebody will find the body and we move on.
Listen, Arlene, we don't need all of this, okay?
No.
And the cops just pretty much, the 911, they pretty much just ignore it.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
They should. Yeah.
He's a 43 he's not a child. He's not like he's 75. He's lost and delirious or anything. A 43-year-old man whose daughter was not home that night, maybe he went out drinking with the boys. he's an adult and he can do whatever he wants, is what they basically said. So, yeah, she said that it was she said, though, it's weird because it was so cold out that night that she asked Wayne, she said, let me pick you up later at 9 o'clock. It's going to be freezing because it's February.
Yeah.
So I'll pick you up from work at 9 o'clock. That way you don't have to walk in the cold. And he said, no, I don't want to make you go out in the cold. Then you got to go warm up your car and get in. He goes, I'll walk. Who cares? I'm all, warmed up from working. No problem. It's less than a mile. I'll be there. Okay. Now, a couple days go by, though, and he never shows up.
Oh.
Doesn't show up. Now there's a concern, because now he's got a kid, and this is just unlike him. He's a pretty dependable guy.
Right.
So it's very strange. And then on February 18th, 2013, I'm sorry, February 17th, I'm sorry, there's a passerby walking his dog at about 8 o'clock in the morning, walking it off the side of the road here, off the sidewalk. And about 15 feet off the road, he discovers a man's body lying by a tree.
And Arlene's like, see,
he fell. He's trying to climb a tree.
Fucking told you.
He calls 911 and said the victim's in the fetal position laying by a tree and looks quite dead here. So the cops come. The man has blood all over his hands and has big gashes to the top and side of his head.
Shit.
Just looks like his head's been just gashed apart. The investigators around the area, they think he's been hit by a car. That's what they think. They think it's a hit and run. They think, this makes somebody was speeding, hit him. It's dark outside. He flew 15 feet off the side of the road. Nobody saw him. He's been laying here this whole time, just bleeding to death. So they didn't know what to do. So they look in. He still has his wallet on him.
Oh,
so okay, he wasn't robbed and thrown off to the side. That's why another reason why they think it's a hit and run, because he has his wallet. He's got his wallet, his driver's license, identifying him as Wayne Capelli.
Oh, damn it.
So here's Wayne. He still also has cash in his wallet too and everything. So it's weird for a guy to be, discarded on the side of the road like this. So it was just off the 2100 block of Delavue Avenue in Silvercroft, which is Wilmington, but he lives in Claymont. It's a long story. So police said, they think maybe he's the victim of a hit and run, but they found blood spatter on a utility pole around the scene.
Oh.
Blood spatter that wouldn't come from being hit by a car. It's a different kind of thing. So,
and it's 2013. They've got DNA. They know whether or not that's his blood.
Absolutely, yeah. It's and it's fresh. It's got to be his blood. The trail kind of goes that way. So they see that. So they're like, okay, that doesn't go with a hit and run.
Right.
And also the lack of defensive wounds on him, because he just has blood on his hands, but not bruises or anything like that. So they think he's probably hit from behind. Got to be hit from behind, but they said, but there's cash in his wallet. This isn't a robbery.
So what's the point? Yeah,
he has no enemies. Yeah. He's just a single guy who works at a grocery store and hangs out with his daughter. He doesn't have some big thing going on. He's not in deep to gamblers. He's not. Right. There's none of that shit.
Just some eyes wide shut shit anywhere.
Yeah, he's not fucking the police chief's wife or something. Right. So they had him beaten and thrown on the side of the road. So they canvass the area. They spread out. They go, okay, this whole thing looks like a crime scene. Just block off this whole corner. And a short distance away, more like almost a quarter mile away, but still in this area, they find something. They find a cracked 34-inch white aluminum Louisville Slugger model TPS CVL softball bat.
Aluminum. Cracked.
Aluminum. 34-inch, 30-ounce aluminum bat.
And
big
it's
softball
cracked.
bat. And it's cracked.
Wow.
And has blood all over it, or reddish-brown, what looks to be material. Blood on it is what they say. It has white and blue markings, the bat. So they search this area, and this bat they find kind of ditched in a creek about a quarter mile from where the body was found. So someone went over in the creek and tossed it there.
Yeah.
They said the bat was cracked, has dents all over it, and a reddish substance consistent with blood, determined through DNA to match Wayne.
Okay.
So there's your murder weapon. The head, he's just had his head completely bashed in. I mean, cause of death Several times. Oh, yeah. Cause of death is blunt force trauma.
Jeez.
Not surprisingly. So this is now they have no idea where to go, because they're saying, the investigators are saying, hitting someone with a bat like this, if someone wanted to rob him, they'd hit him until they could rob him and then walk away.
Right.
So it doesn't. If someone wanted to kill him, they'd have to be very, very pissed off at him to do this.
Right.
This is very personal. Someone beat his brains in and walked away. Like this is
It's as close as it gets.
It's highly personal, and they started it over here, dragged him off to the side of the road. The whole deal.
Really?
They dragged him off in a ditch. That's where he was. So that's why there was spatter out over on the utility pole by the road. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So they said they don't have any suspects. They're asking for the police's help. They release a picture of the baseball bat. If anybody recognizes this baseball bat as, having been stolen or, your friend borrowed it or something, let us know. They release a surveillance video as well of 2 cars driving on Delaware Avenue between Marsh and Veal Roads around the time of the murders. The police are hoping someone can identify the bat, the car, the driver, or past something. Just any information.
That's the other benefit. It's crazy now to even think about getting away with
everything's
anything.
on camera.
There's so many cameras.
And even if they're not like traffic light cameras or like a police or like a supermarket outside business camera, everybody's house has a camera on the door.
It's on your neighbor's house.
Look at Chris Watts. Chris Watts.
They're going to get you.
They knew that whole thing turned when you're watching the Chris Watts thing and he's in his neighbor's house and they're watching that video. Right. It all changed from that video. Everything changed. It went from, he's fucking lying, this is bad, immediately from, this poor guy's wife and kids are missing. Like that shit was, it's everywhere.
He's just pacing everywhere going, oh, fuck, I didn't even think about how many cameras there are. They are everywhere. And your friends don't just have, your neighbors don't just have the doorbell. There are cameras all over their fucking house.
Their houses.
Aiming everywhere.
Yeah. If you drive down your road, there's going to be 2-3 houses on your street that has cameras pointed out at the street that's going to catch your car passing by.
Granted, it's safe, but some of those people are just paranoid. And that. You don't even see how many cameras they've got. That's how many cameras they've got.
That's how many cameras. Hiding in shingles and shit. Seriously, too. I've seen it. It's fucking crazy. So they said that detectives are also asking for individuals throughout Newcastle County who, while out walking, may have been approached by any suspicious persons and or vehicles, and as a result were threatened or assaulted. Was this maybe someone going around fucking with people at night? Right. And Wayne said, fuck you, I'm not, whatever, I'm not playing this shit, and the guy got pissed off and beat him extra hard. Is there other people hit with a bat that night? Then the bat, they determined the murder weapon, the bat, may have been stolen from an individual in the York or Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area. Someone came forward and said that there's a bat missing and all that sort of shit. So, yeah, so they talk about the 911 call, and they go back to where Wayne lived, and they're like, okay, that's where the call came from. Let's talk there. So they search for clues at Arlene's house, Capelli's home, where they found that just months earlier, amongst his effects, they find a life insurance policy that he just took out a few months earlier, like 2 months earlier. So the value of the policy is the shocking part. A little life insurance is fine for his daughter because he's got a daughter there, whatever, but he's a 43-year-old supermarket shelf stocker who has a $360,000 life insurance policy.
What the fuck?
Which is more than someone who has little money like that would usually be insured for.
You probably shouldn't have 6 times your fucking salary.
The detective said it was a huge sum for someone just getting on his feet.
Right. It's
that
probably
makes
8
sense.
times.
It's for what he's making. Yeah, he's probably, Jesus, in 2013, he's probably making $12 an hour stocking shelves. Even if it's a union job, he's making $18 an hour back then stocking shelves. Some of the grocery stores are union, but still.
8 times his fucking salary. That's so much.
It's insane. So 10 times maybe if he makes 36 grand. Yeah, 10 times. Wow. So the weird part was, not only was it a $360,000 policy, it seemed a little high. The weirder part, though, is the beneficiary. They expect, it's going to be his daughter, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
But it's not.
Oh?
It's Paul DiSabatino.
Diavictionato?
Diavictionato over here.
Why is that son of a bitch? Why would he?
This is a guy he met through his friend David Hess, who works there, who lives with him, at the house. So how weird is that shit?
Bizarre.
So
and that's
police,
the guy that just tossed him.
Yeah, police definitely want to talk to Paul about this. They're like, what the fuck? So he gets in there, and he says, I didn't fucking know I was the insurance beneficiary for his shit. He goes, I have no idea. That's crazy. Why would he put me? He said that I have an alibi. They said, well, where were you? He goes, I was in Pittsburgh at a hotel with Hess, the roommate, too. We were together in Pittsburgh at, I believe, a Homewood Suites or one of those places at a tournament for the whole weekend playing Strat-O-Matic baseball.
What is that?
Okay, we'll get into that. And they were with another guy named Michael K-Man, or Kaman. K-M-A-N. Kaman.
K-M-A-N? That's K-Man.
That's his name, K-Man. That's what I've been calling him while I'm doing this. K-Man. Yo, K-Man.
Well, so a man dies in a way that it uses a baseball bat, and his
Strat-O-Matic has nothing to do with baseball equipment. This is you could play this from if you were a paraplegic, you could play this game. It is Strat-O-Matic baseball is an old school game. It's pretty cool. If you're a stat nerd, it's cool. I'm a stat nerd, so I think it's pretty neat. I've never played it except for as a kid I saw people had it, but it seems pretty cool. Each player is represented by a card on which are printed various ratings and result tables for dice rolls. So you roll, and it'll say, fucking Mike Trout hit a double. You know what I mean? And then he goes to second, and then you play games like that.
Right.
Well, apparently there are big groups of 40 and 50-year-old men still to this day who
are still doing it.
Go to hotels for a whole weekend, kind of like you'd see like in Gangster, like in The Sopranos. They do like the whole weekend long poker game at the hotel for all this big money. These guys do this, but with Strat-O-Matic baseball.
For bullshit baseball.
The whole weekend. I picture like guys coming in with sandwiches and everything like that. It's crazy.
They're all wearing too high of shorts and too tall of socks at the same time. Every one of them.
Yeah. They said determining the results of in-game decisions by cross-referencing dice rolls with a system of printed charts and tables.
Fascinating.
So they said that Strat-O-Matic games offer a basic, advanced, and super advanced version. The more advanced versions give more strategic options to players while taking into account additional nuances of an athlete's ability.
As if fantasy nerds weren't fucking nerdy enough.
Oh, this
incredible.
They think fantasy nerds are pussies, these guys.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking posers.
Your fucking app fixes all that for you. We're rolling dice.
This is crazy. When they release, every year they release a new batch of Strat-O-Matic cards for an update. Like a video game has updated people.
Because their stats change.
Yeah, you got to up your Madden fucking overall here. When they're released in late January, hundreds of people show up in the cold at their company headquarters in, I believe, Pennsylvania to fucking get them and celebrate it.
Wow.
Yeah. One in 2008, a guy, what is this? Oh, my God. 2008, David Allen Teak filibustered outside of the Glen Head headquarters for 42 hours over Alex Rodriguez's card rankings being inflated due to steroid use.
He was pissed about it?
42 hours he stood outside and ranted and raved about Alex Rodriguez's player card being too fucking...
Fucking 8 and home run, come on.
Bullshit. It's horse shit. Only because he's on the roids. There's also an internet version of Strat-O-Matic. And this was formerly hosted by the Sporting News, but is now hosted by the Strat-O-Matic company itself. So, if you're a baseball stat nerd, they also have football, hockey, they have all the Strat-O-Matics. So, back to a murder. That's the weirdest sidebar of all time for our show.
Incredible.
To explain a card game based on baseball. So, the cops now start looking at surveillance footage from the hotel where the tournament was held. There was several men there. This is... You know how far away this is to Pittsburgh?
York? That's so far.
Well, York is by Philly.
Okay.
Like in the southeastern corner, like by
They're
Delaware.
Going to the other side. Yeah.
They live in Delaware, these guys, and they went all the way to Pittsburgh. We know that's like an 8-hour drive.
That's all day.
That's all fucking day. They took the train there to sit in a hotel.
Oh, God, it's even further.
Yes. So they show up and they look at the surveillance footage, and they say that Paul DiStabatino and K-Man show up periodically. Yeah. So they come in and out of it, so they couldn't have been 8 hours away. Michael John K-Man Jr., by the way, is K-Man here. He's born in 1965, so he's almost 50 at this point. But the cops, when they were looking at it, at the camera footage, they said that they appeared so often, always popping in, and always made sure to make eye contact with the camera. They didn't just walk in and go about their business. They walked in, really spiked the lens hard, looked right at it.
Really?
Like, so you could really identify, look who I am. I'm on camera, not murdering a man, and then went back to what they were doing.
That is a fascinating thing, because I stay in hotels a lot.
Do you ever just
I've
sure
never
to
even
stare
noticed
at cameras?
where the cameras are. I know there's cameras, and I don't look for them. I don't
Because you're not trying to establish an alibi, probably. That's why.
That's a good point, yeah.
It's a difference. So now Hess has his own alibi. He said he was eating at a fast food restaurant during that window of time where Wayne was killed, and his story checks out via security video. He's sitting there eating a hamburger. What are you going to do? Yeah. So, shit, they didn't know what to do. The only thing they could do, they said, well, I guess let's check to see if maybe somebody followed him from work. Let's check the surveillance video from the grocery store. So they do that, and it shows that he left work alone, and there's nobody following him. There's no, nefarious, shadowy figure behind him or anything. But outside the store in the parking lot, they said a green car was caught on camera circling slowly. The one cop described it almost shark-like, just doing circles around the parking lot. So this suspicious car also showed up in security footage from different places around the crime scene as well. They saw it there. Now, it's also very close to there, so but they saw it a couple of times. So they're like, that's not right.
Yeah, that guy is driving around a lot.
The license plate wasn't visible, but there's a large sticker in a back window that they think will help identify this car. And they would have got away with it if only he wasn't a huge Deftones fan. Just would have got away with it all.
If it weren't for that rest in peace sticker on the back of his window.
For a friend of his that died.
That died 8 years ago.
So they want to find this vehicle. They say that's the key. Now, the other guys, they can't. They're saying that we were at a tournament. They're at a tournament. Security video, and vidage. Footage and video. Those two words that are separate words. Those, verify that. So They're looking for that. They start looking at insurance and phone records. So they subpoenaed documents and phone records linking the creation of the life insurance policy, which couldn't pay out while the investigation's underway. They have phone recordings from the insurance company because for, customer service purposes, they record all their calls. So phone recordings revealed that a third party who identified himself as Capelli's cousin Tony, which that all checks out. If his name's Capelli, he's got a cousin Tony because I have several. So guarantee he's got one or two. Was also on the call. So Capelli had his cousin Tony in there. Hey, Tone. He could be heard, Tony, guiding Capelli and helping him change the beneficiary from his daughter to Paul DiSabatino.
How about that?
So who the hell was this Tony guy? They listened to
why did Paul act like he didn't know?
He wasn't there, I guess. So they're like, what's going on with that? Who's this Tony guy? They listen. They go, this guy's voice sounds really familiar. And the one cop goes, it's fucking K-Man. That's K-Man's voice. They recognize the voice as K-Man.
Tony K-Man?
But K-Man's got an alibi.
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck, what do we do? He's nowhere near the crime scene. He's hours away from the crime scene.
Right.
So they're like, shit. They go, well, maybe they hired a hitman. And they're like, but there's no evidence. None of this makes sense. None of it makes sense. It just doesn't make sense. So the weeks turn into months.
What?
And months go by. All they have is, we think you were involved. And they go, well, we weren't there. We were over here. And they go, well, yeah, you were. And that's the end of the conversation. There's really nothing more they can say. They don't have any evidence.
Right. And we got a guy that sounds like him and
sort of.
That's it.
And they can go, well, it wasn't me. I don't know. You're mistaken. I mean, what are you supposed to do? That's the only evidence you have. So months go by. Months. Finally, 2014. So plenty of months. A call to the FBI comes in. Okay. A guy named Kevin Shannon, who's a retired FBI agent now, he was active at the time, is contacted by Paul DiSabatino.
Oh, what? Paul?
Who's got a story to tell.
Yeah.
He said, listen, I got to tell you something. Wayne Capelli that died, I know what happened to him.
Oh.
He said K-Man came up with a scheme to kill Wayne and get his life insurance, and we'd all split it.
Okay.
So DiSabatino and Hess both owed K-Man money. I don't know if this is Strat-O-Matic bets or what. I am leaning. I'm 80% sure that they owe him money for baseball fucking Strat-O-Matic games that they lost to him or some shit like that. Because nobody here is real into drugs or any reason to be in debt to anybody.
They're Strat-O-Matic dorks.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like they were betting on Strat-O-Matic games and they owe him. So DiSabatino said they were kind of under his thumb at that point because they owed him money. So they said that K-Man had a knack for preying on people's vulnerabilities and using fear tactics to keep them under control. He's a big fat guy too, K-Man. Really? He's like a big hefty guy, yeah. So the murder plot involved, this is how long this was going on with. They moved Hess into the same house as Wayne as a part of this plot.
That was part of the reason?
It was going on for months. They moved, they told Hess, move into the same place with him to get it started so you can get in with him and do all that. So they had him do that, which is months in advance. And this was, a little while after they had the insurance change and everything like that. They said, move in there so you could become familiar with the route that he walks to and from work on.
Oh, my God.
That's what they had him do. So he surveilled him for a month or two.
Stalked him
and surveilled him. Yeah. And that is fucking insane. And then K-Man, Hess, and DiSabatino talk Capelli into getting a life insurance policy. How they did that, I don't know. Wayne seems pliable to me.
Seems like look, I got two kids. If somebody said you need to have life insurance, I'd be like, why? And if they mentioned my children, I'll buy it tomorrow.
Yeah, you're probably right. I probably should have that.
Let's do it.
So you're going to have a flood of fucking spam now from out of hundreds of thousands of people, a few of them have to be insurance agents, and they're going to be like, Jimmie, heard you're looking for, he has life insurance. He's
heard
fine.
You need term life.
He's good. So they talk about that, and they say that at different times in 2012, Hess and K-Man spoke to the insurance company, identifying themselves as Capelli's cousin Tony, and also as Wayne's brother-in-law Vinny. So Vinny and Tony are calling.
Yeah.
As Vinny, K-Man said he wanted to have a guardian set up as the beneficiary of Capelli's daughter. That's how they sold it to him. They go, you need to have an insurance policy for your daughter. Obviously, your daughter's a small child. She's 10 at this point, so she's not. You're going to have somebody who's a trustee of that.
Sure.
So why don't you have it put in Paul's name, and if anything happens to you, Paul will use that money to take care of your daughter.
Yeah.
That's what they said. And he said, okay, that sounds good. And then they had Hess move into the house, figure out which route he took to work, and all this type of shit. This is fucking crazy. And
this is dastardly.
It is. And K-Man threatened Hess to help convince him to do this, by the way.
Frightening.
So, who did the fucking killing, though? Because none of these people were there. None of these people were here. Well, Paul DiSabatino and Hess knew the guy, could pick him out of a lineup, but didn't know his name. Only knows him by his nickname, which is
Motherfucker Jones.
Nazi. His nickname is Nazi.
Oh my God.
He's such a Nazi that when people go, what's he like? He's a Nazi. It's the first thing you say about him. There's a lot of people who are whatever, and maybe they're racist or they're this or they're that or whatever. That's not the first thing you bring up. You're like, I don't know, he's like a welder and he does that. He's all right, gets a little drunk on the weekends. I don't know, he says some weird jokes sometimes, and he's this guy
N-A-Z-I?
Nazi. Fucking Nazi. N-A-Z-I. Nazi. Not only is that his nickname, that's the only thing they know him as, is Nazi.
Really?
You're looking for a man named Nazi. Police, good luck. So, this is crazy. DiSabatino tells police that K-Man arranged for both of them to be in Pittsburgh at the time of the killings, doing the Strat-O-Matic thing here. DiSabatino told police that K-Man received a phone call around 10 p.m. on February 16th, and that K-Man told DiSabatino, it's done. Through phone records, they were able to show that the call came from a phone owned by Nazi, and we'll find out who Nazi is in a second here. So, wow. After this, then phone records lead investigators to Nazi. Nazi is a landscaper for K-Man. He does his landscaping.
He got the guy that cuts his lawn.
He said, hey, will you put that weed whacker down for a minute? Come here, Nazi. I just want to discuss something with you, Nazi. How do you feel about killing a man? He's like, I'll weed whack the fuck out of him. I don't care. What the
fuck is happening?
So Nazi, the lawn care specialist here.
Yeah,
Nazi lawn care.
Nazis lawns.
Nazi's lawn care. If you want... Oh, God.
Good Lord.
If you want your line straight and your shit in line, if you want your grass train to run on time, Nazi lawn care. So, wow. The green car in the video is registered to Nazi's girlfriend as well.
Okay.
She's got a green car with a big thing on the back. So this is coming together here.
With a giant fucking iron cross on the back window or some shit.
Yeah, and the person in Pennsylvania with the baseball bat said Nazi was the guy who might have taken their baseball bat.
Oh, really?
They thought that might have been just an unrelated baseball bat that some guy in Pennsylvania took, but they find out, this is... So they bring Hess in. Here to have him questioned by the cops. And he says, K-Man threatened to hurt me if I didn't help with the plot. Threatened me. He said also that he was aware that K-Man planned to have Wayne killed and that K-Man would receive a majority of the money once DiSabatino was paid out.
Oh.
How much are you into him for Strat-O-Matic? I mean, how bad of a team did you have? Jesus Christ. So Hess said he was forced to go with K-Man and Nazi. Get in the car with Nazi. Okay. We're going for a ride. Oh, my God. We're going for a ride with Nazi, everybody. Get the kids. Come on. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, it's great. Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Nazi told us to get on the train. Let's go.
Let's go. I guess we're going.
We're going to Pittsburgh.
He forces Hess into a vehicle, and it is to go with K-Man and Nazi on a ride to show them the route that he has now investigated and established that Wayne takes to the store. This is all going in line here. So Hess said while on that ride in this area where Capelli's body ended up being found later, K-Man asked Nazi, "What do you think?" And Nazi said, "Yeah, this looks like it would work. A lot better than before." Because apparently Hess said that an earlier option had been to kill Capelli in an alley on his way home.
Okay.
But it's easier to do it out here for some reason, I guess. I don't know why. I guess there's maybe windows nearby. Or if you're in an alley, that means there's buildings.
Right.
Where there's buildings, there's windows. Where there's windows, there's witnesses.
If he's walking, too, you can park your car elsewhere.
Yes.
And then hide in the bushes or something.
So, yeah, the alley is, and plus then you're trapped in this alley, and you only have one way in and one, or 2 ways in and 2 ways out. You can't scatter in any other direction. It's not a good move here. So he, that's what he said. So K-Man has some other charges let's just talk about quickly before we get into Nazi, because K-Man somehow is the biggest scumbag in the story.
Really?
Oh, yeah. In 1994, K-Man was fined, this is obviously 20 years earlier, but he was fined $500 after pleading guilty to child endangerment in court.
Oh.
Police said K-Man placed a pot of scalding water next to his year-old stepdaughter who suffered first-degree burns when she struck her hand in the water. Idiot. He said the accident happened on that day, was based on a foolish act by myself, and I'm sorry for that, is what he told the judge that day.
Who would put boiling water near a child? What a fucking
Why is
moron.
your kid near the fucking stove,
moron.
you jackass? Now, the new charges, though, oh, man. Okay, well, one of his family members told investigators K-Man tried to intimidate her by telling her that he had a man murdered for insurance money, number one.
Oh.
That's not good, but that's nothing. You think he's scum?
Yeah.
Check it out. Well, he was also arrested in Cumberland County at this time on unrelated sexual offense charges.
Yeah.
The indictment charges that in June 2008, K-Man transported a minor from Cumberland County to Kentucky, where I'm sure you can have sex with any age person, to engage in sex acts.
Ah, gross.
It also accuses him of persuading a minor to engage in sex acts that he filmed during the same period.
Of course he did, because he wants to relive it. What a pig.
In 2014, he's charged by East Pennsboro Township Police with felony counts of rape, involuntary, deviant sexual behavior, or intercourse, aggravated indecent assault, sexual assault, and unlawful contact with a minor.
But he's so good at this baseball.
Terrible things that you never want said after your name. He's real good at Strat-O-Matic, though.
Jesus.
He's going to run the prison Strat-O-Matic fucking team here. He was additionally charged with misdemeanor counts of indecent assault and corruption of minors, and he's sent to jail on $1 million bail. That's not, you think he's, okay, that's scummy, and we'll talk about a little more detail there. But at the same time, 4 years earlier, they found out he was coaching for the Catholic Youth Organization, CYO basketball, which anybody on the East Coast, if you played basketball as a kid, that's what you played, CYO ball.
Wow.
CYO basketball program at Our Lady of Lourdes Parish in Enola, Pennsylvania, when the state police accused him in 2010 of offering referees up to $2,500 to fix the outcome of fucking high school basketball games.
He's betting on high school basketball?
Not even high school. It's fucking, it's children's, it's just children's league.
It's
It's not
baby
even
leagues.
School league. I played this when I was 9. I played
What a
fucking
piece
CYO
of
ball.
shit.
Wow. The police said K-Man sent the referees numerous text messages requesting they officiate certain basketball games and favor a specific team. The Catholic Diocese of Harrisburg suspended him from coaching and released a statement. In light of the charges filed, the Diocese of Harrisburg is suspending the youth protection clearances that allow K-Man to be involved with youth and youth-serving activities in any parish, school, or diocese pending the resolution of the investigation, because they knew about his bullshit with the kid in the water and they still hired him anyway.
What a fucking weirdo.
So this new charge they just add now is a child pornography charge to the list of felony sex crimes that he has. Wow, the police said in filings that the new charge relates to a memory card containing video of K-Man engaging in sex acts with a 17-year-old girl that was found during a search of his home. The search came after the girl K-Man is accused of molesting told authorities about the abuse. The accuser, because you go 17... There are people that'll go, it's 2 months from now, it's legal. Well, this had been going on for 8 years.
She
this
was
girl.
9. Jesus.
Yes. So the accuser said he had sexually assaulted her for 8 years. Another one said starting when she was 15, he was sexually assaulting her, so somebody else. She also claimed K-Man had threatened to kill her if she denied his request for sex.
Ew.
That's not a request anymore at that point. So when he was arrested, they found the memory card containing the videos of all this type of shit. So the church knew about him. They knew about his 1994 conviction for child endangerment, but he was still allowed to coach. They found he posed no imminent threat of abuse to the youth that he would be coaching.
Wow.
As long as none of them are attractive to him.
Yeah.
The plea for sex charges here is that he is a result of inducing, persuading, and coercing. It's his daughter.
What?
It's his daughter.
It's his own daughter?
the 17-year-old that he was filming was his daughter.
Disgusting.
Somehow I missed that when I put that's his daughter. That is, I don't even know how to fucking put that.
And he
into.
took her to Kentucky to do this.
And he filmed her. Let me. That's. I don't even know what. I
Don't
can't
say
even.
let me.
I'm just no. That's why I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna fucking. My brain is spinning like a fucking.
Now it makes sense why he knows a man named Nazi.
Yeah. Hey Nazi. Yeah. So the maximum penalty is 30 years under this. Here, a term of supervised release following that also faces mandatory minimum of 15 years. So. How does this relate to Capelli, you might ask? Well, they question the alleged victim in the case about any acquaintances K-Man might have fitting the description of the man known as Nazi, and she said, I know Nazi. That's Ryan Shover. I know him. Absolutely. That's that guy. Ryan W. Shover, Shover, 44. Yeah, he's currently living at the Red Carpet Inn on Lewisberry Road in Fairview Township. K-Man agreed to pay him $30,000 for the murder, apparently. That's what K-Man will end up admitting to. They made a deal to testify for the prosecution, though. DiSabatino and Hess made a deal here. K-Man was arrested for first-degree murder, which is a life sentence, but he eventually agrees to testify against Shover in exchange for less than life. So they raid where Shover's living, his hovel, and
over at the Red Carpet Inn?
Not even a red roof inn. It's just carpet. We don't even have a roof.
Piece of shit.
Holy, I've never even heard of that before. We've driven all through. I've never even heard of pull off to this $44.99 a night dump.
The Red Carpet.
Wow. When they get to his house, they find the 1999 green Chevy Cavalier with the sticker on the back. The same shit sitting there. It belongs to his girlfriend. Or at this point, his wife, because this is like 2 years later.
Wow.
The presiding federal judge who initially ordered Shover detained by the federal gun charges, because we'll find out he's got a gun. He had guns in his house.
Oh, boy.
They said he has an extensive prior criminal record marked by multiple instances of flight, failure to appear, and failure to abide by conditions.
Of course.
Weird that a guy named Nazi would be, difficult.
Probably a fucking menace to society.
Imagine him to be very civic-minded and easy to deal with, but no, he's not. Wow. So Hess, like I said, he's arrested, gives up everybody, and DiSabatino, they both agree to work with investigators, and they both agree to plead guilty to criminally negligent homicide, insurance fraud, and first-degree conspiracy.
Wow.
Now, K-Man also pleads to get himself out of the life in prison. So K-Man, K-Man, DiSabatino, and Hess all go in for their sentencing here. Yeah. Now, by the way, they were going to have K-Man and Shover tried at the same time, and that's why K-Man was like, I don't want to be fucking hooked up with a guy named Nazi on the same shit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No good. So they said during this, without Michael K-Man beginning this conspiracy, enlisting the cast of characters, Wayne Capelli would still be alive today. Prosecutors suggested a sentence of 30 years for K-Man. K-Man's attorney said with his participation with prosecutors, with his dysfunctional upbringing in similar cases, warranted a sentence closer to about half of that, maybe 15 years. He's also facing 12 years in jail for what the judge described as a violent sexual assault in Pennsylvania, as well as a 15-year federal court sentence after pleading guilty to production of child pornography in 2015.
Yeah.
Fucking, I hate this guy. I want him and K-Man. I want to put like a peanut butter sandwich on the floor and say, to the death, motherfuckers, go at it. And then whoever wins, let him eat the sandwich and then go in and shoot him in the fucking head. That's what I think out of these two idiots. I swear to God.
They are both awful.
Whoever wins gets shot in the fucking head when they're done with their peanut butter sandwich. That's it. So this is obviously terrible. They also said that his federal and Pennsylvania time combined with a 30-year Delaware sentence would be akin to a life sentence, leaving him with nothing for his cooperation with prosecutors. He's not even getting anything out of this. Yeah, you're a scumbag.
He got $360,000 out of it.
You fucked kids. I don't care about your life and what you fuck you. So the victim impact statement here, Capelli's daughter is there, but Capelli's sister is the one who speaks kind of on her behalf. And she said, quote, she kept asking me, why my dad? After 5 years, I still don't have an answer for her. He didn't deserve to have his life taken away for something as petty as money. Right. So they asked K-Man, would you like to address the court? And he goes, I'm good.
Nothing.
Said, right on. You, sir, may fuck off 30 years in prison. Eat dicks.
Okay, yeah, that's a good start.
Plus the other shit. Add it up. So fuck him. Hess is up next here, which is weird. The guy named Nazi isn't Hess, who was a Nazi.
That's a Nazi name, yeah.
That's crazy. Hess pleads guilty to criminally negligent homicide, insurance fraud, first-degree conspiracy. You, sir, may fuck off 5 years somehow.
Really?
He moved in with them to plot his route out. I mean, yes, he was threatened by a guy. Yeah. He said they threatened me and it was coercive, but still, you could have moved away.
Yeah, but with 3 testimonies against a man, it's much easier to get him. So they're being very lenient with the
5 years.
He didn't do anything. He just did everything.
He just sort of set it all up. He was the glue that held it all together.
Yeah,
the straw that stirs the drink is what he was. So DiSabatino sentencing. They said, quote, this is the Attorney General, we might not have had sentencing for Mr. Shover and Mr. K-Man if it were not for Mr. DiSabatino. So even the state is pushing for him here. DiSabatino told the court that he is just very sorry.
I'm sure.
Yep. In crafting his sentence, the judge cited the, quote, high degree of sophistication and planning, as well as the multiple opportunities DiSabatino and others had to withdraw from the scheme. Yeah. He also noted that DiSabatino had moved to arrange guardianship of Capelli's child before the victim was killed, which is also pretty goddamn gross.
Gross.
He said, you went so far as to hire a lawyer after his death to go to the court of chancery and seek the money.
Unbelievable.
Wow. You, sir, may fuck off 10 years in jail, prison, whatever. 10 years he gets.
More.
Should be a little more than that.
More.
Now, Nazi here, when they raided his home, they found 2 shotguns in his home.
Mm-hmm. And he's already a felon. Yeah.
He's already a convicted felon, obviously.
Yeah.
But according to his public defender, the shotguns belonged to other relatives who brought the weapons to his home so his son and his girlfriend's son could learn to shoot. I assume their parents. Yeah. So the public defender said the search of his home, which turned up the shotguns in the bedroom, were a result of a wild goose chase for information regarding a murder in Delaware. Well, no, it was actually very accurate because they had a murderer and they were searching his house for evidence. That's more than a wild goose case or wild goose chase. So either way there, he's sentenced to time served and 1 year probation for the guns. That's what he gets.
Oh my God. Nazi got that?
Nazi got that because now because he was 6.5 months.
Yeah,
waiting. Now his trial, they have everyone testifying against him. He's fucked. Surveillance footage. Yeah. He's fucked. Guilty. He's guilty. Yeah. He's guilty of 2 charges of first-degree murder, first-degree conspiracy, insurance fraud, and 2 counts of possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a felony.
He went to trial.
He went to fucking trial. The jury found him guilty. His whole thing was they did it and they're all lying on me because they did it and it's a conspiracy. So during the sentencing, the prosecutor here asked the judge for the symbolic gesture of increasing the sentence for Shover's weapons charges. He said a baseball bat is usually employed opportunistically when wielded as a weapon. And they said, though, in this part, it wasn't like he just grabbed a bat that was in his trunk.
Right.
This was part of a premeditated plot. He said, we know Shover had guns. He could have chosen any other means. He chose to beat him to death with a baseball bat. Yes. So they asked Nazi, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Did he say no?
Ask for mercy. Oh, no, he had something to say. Not the right thing, though. The right thing is, I'm a terrible person. It's horrible. I feel so sorry for the family. That poor little girl has to live her whole life. That's what you say.
I did nothing?
He said, quote, I didn't kill him, nor did I participate in the planning of his death. I can close my eyes with a clear conscience.
Well, good night.
The judge said it was an outrageous and despicable conspiracy to commit this murder. You, sir, may fuck off 2 life sentences. Eat cocks. Go away.
I didn't do it. Go to jail for 2 lives.
Close your eyes with a clear conscience there, motherfucker. Enjoy.
For 2 lives lengths. That's
it. That is fucking amazing. So, yeah, the reaction, the Attorney General said, we appreciate the hard work and cooperation of everyone involved in this case, knowing how difficult it is to bring justice to those responsible in cold cases. Yeah, that's true. They said this is another example of our detectives working relentlessly on cases, even one as complex as this, because this is a mess to piece this all together.
Oh, God, it's so fucked.
You got to have multiple cooperating agencies and different, jurisdictions, too. They said, as I've said before, and let me be clear, if you commit a murder in Newcastle County, we will find you and ensure justice is served.
Okay.
Probably not. I'll find some cold cases and make you wrong. So
this one barely happened. So calm down.
No shit. So K-Man is pled guilty to second-degree murder, insurance fraud, second-degree conspiracy, 30-year sentence. K-Man's sentence will not start, however, until he completes a 6 to 12-year sentence for involuntary deviant sexual intercourse in Pennsylvania and an additional 15-year sentence for child porn. So he's got 21 to fucking 27 years before he can even start his 30.
Unbelievable.
He's fucked. Wayne's daughter ended up finally receiving the insurance policy for his murder.
That's nice.
So she got that at least. And Michael John K-Man Jr. is a registered sex offender now here. There he is, 6'1", 295. Big fat fuck with kids on his on his breath. I don't like it. This was also a Mastermind of Murder, some TV show. The episode was The Devil in Delaware. I didn't watch it, but they did a thing on it. So I
the Nazi in Delaware.
The Nazi in Delaware. So the Delaware Nazi. Jesus. So there you go, everybody. Delaware's fucked up. This is what I'm talking about. It's real weird there. So the murders are real strange when they happen. That was the one where they found like a skeleton tied to a tree the one time. It's a weird place. So I don't know. If you enjoyed that show, let the world know about it. Give us 5 stars on whatever app you're listening on. Say something nice that helps drive us up the charts. September the 18th, Your Stupid Opinions, our new podcast coming out. We could not be more excited. Definitely listen to that. And also listen to Crime and Sports. As always, it gets better every goddamn week, everybody. It's so fun. So get in there and check that out. shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live. Get your tickets for the virtual live show October the 26th. It's going to be great. If you've got one before, you know how fun they are. If not, come on out wherever you are in the world. It's just like a live show, exactly the same, except you're in your living room. We're going to have so much fun. We cannot wait. Get your asses in there. It's available for a week after October 26th. shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live. Also at shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets to Dallas December 2nd. Everything else is sold out, so get in there and get your tickets for Dallas on September 2nd. We're pretty jacked for those shows.
Should be great.
In addition to that as well, you definitely want Patreon. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the bonus materials, everything. It's $5 a month or more, whatever you want to put. A singular cup of coffee.
It will never go up.
Out of your month's coffee, one of those cups go, I'll make this one at home, and I'll just get Patreon, and I'll get 200 plus back episodes of bonus shit that you're going to get, all this stuff. And in addition, I'll get 2 new episodes every other week, 1 Crime and Sports, 1 Small Town Murder. This week, what I'll be getting, if I'm this person who's getting this, for Crime and Sports, I'm going to be talking about listening to Operation Slapshot, which is a federal probe on a hockey gambling thing involving coaches and players and bad things like that. And we'll talk about the movie Slapshot, which we had never seen somehow as adult men. And we both watched it at the same time in the same night, and we're just sending lines back and forth and just loved it so much. So we were so into it. We'll talk more about that, some behind-the-scenes stuff from Slapshot, and where we would put it on our top sports movies, because that wasn't on the list last time. So we'll get into that. For Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about something very fun, the Fire Festival, the one that failed. Since Fire Festival 2 is happening and Burning Man was a disaster, let's talk about Fire Festival and why you should never let Billy McFarland do anything. So do all of that and more. Patreon.com/crime in sports, and you'll get a shout out at the end of the regular show as well, or Jimmie will mispronounce your name while trying his goddamnedest to get it correct. I'm telling you, he really wants it right. So that said, follow us on social media. Very easy. Follow the show on social media as well. We are at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Murder on Instagram and Threads, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. You want to follow us? Very easy to do that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. There's links to all that shit there. You can't fend it off. The links will come at you like crazy, like Strat-O-Matic baseball scores. Just keep coming at you. So Keep doing that. Keep hanging out with us, you crazy turkeys. Gobble your asses over to a live show and hang out with us. We cannot wait. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It takes one guy out there to say, who's that Kyle who thinks he can just get on a microphone on a podcast and start publicizing this?
From iHeart Podcasts and Tenderfoot TV comes a new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
Meet Kenny, an enforcer for the legendary Chicago outfit.
And that was my mission, to snuff the life out of this guy.
He lived a secret double life as a firefighter-paramedic for the Chicago Fire Department.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Torn between 2 worlds.
I'm covering up murders that these cops are doing.
He was a freaking crazy man.
We don't know who he is, really.
He is my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Welcome to Crook County. Available now. Listen for free on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.